on, ladies and gents? Robert Sykes, KetoSavage.com, and today we are going into, this week is week 11 of the Keto Contest Prep. So a lot of things happened this week, a lot of changes I'm excited to talk to you about. So let's just dive in and get started. First of all, hit an all-new low weight today. I weighed in this morning at 169.6. So I am, as of today, out of the 170s, which is kind of crazy. I'll probably jump back up to 170 because of water retention at some point over the next few weeks. But I am in the 160s now, at least, which is exciting because it means we're making some progress. So that is one update. Second update, I got some notes here. In the last video, I told you that I was basically coming up on my protein threshold. So I hit 200 grams of protein, and that was pretty much where I decided my protein threshold was. I was starting to get some adverse effects. My weight was plateauing, and nothing was really changing. I felt a little bit more hungry. I saw a little bit of a decrease in energy, and my satiety wasn't quite where I was wanting it to be. I was pretty hungry all the time. So this week was going to be a drop in protein. I had originally only planned on dropping it 5 grams and dropping from 200 to 195 on the protein, but I decided to get a little bit more aggressive with it, and I dropped it by 15 grams. Here's why. I am tentatively doing a show. There's a couple different shows I've got lined up. One is in April, and there's several, but one is in April, and I found one that is in March. So if I do the show in March, I would like to come into conditioning sooner rather than later and kind of coast into the show. It's always better to be ahead or be ready ahead of time and then coast in, as opposed to trying to make it for last time, spin your wheels, and rush it there at the end. That's just a lot of stress. Your body's going to hold water because of the stress, the inflammation. It's just not really a good protocol. So rather than dropping 5 grams over the next few weeks, each week, and then dropping 15 as I get closer to show, I'm just going to front load that, drop the 15 now, and then over the next several weeks, drop by 5 grams of protein a week. So that's what I've got going on there. So now I'm at 185 grams of protein per day. So pretty good drop from the 200. There's a lot more else. There's a lot of other things that I want to go into, but first I'm going to show you some updated posing footage. So let's dive into that right now. All right, here we go. Contest prep update posing here. We got the mandatory symmetry round poses, side, back, and front. You can definitely tell my hamstrings are coming in a little bit, and my back is coming in quite a bit. It's kind of hard to tell with the lighting here, but if you look, you could see veins coming through in the shoulder caps that I definitely didn't really have before this week. More separation in the triceps, more vascularity in the arms for sure. That crazy bright shine does not do it justice, but I could definitely see a lot of stuff coming in. The legs, the side chest, side triceps, my quads are popping more. All right, so watch this. I had a lot of lower back fat when I started. Now, that's definitely still where I have the most fat, but it is melting away without a doubt. Hamstrings are coming in. Glutes are even coming in. You can't really tell with those trunks on, but I'm starting to see striations starting to pop in my glutes. So that's pretty exciting and motivating, seeing that I've still got a long ways to go. Already seeing definition in the glutes. Abs are coming in. I'm getting a lot more visibility in the obliques. But all in all, yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how everything's shaping up 11 weeks into prep. Boom. So you can definitely see that I've gotten a little bit leaner. Hopefully you can see that I've gotten a little bit leaner since the last posing update. So I did my Caliper Test, as I do every 2 weeks, on Monday. And according to the calipers, I came in at 6.67% body fat. That is not accurate. I don't know what my actual body fat percentage is. I don't think I'm as low as 6. But the interesting thing is, last 2 weeks ago, when I measured, I was at 7.78%. The time before that was 7.94. So I'm consistently dropping via the Caliper Test. And the weight is finally starting to change again. So everything's moving in the right direction there. The video footage illustrates that I'm definitely getting leaner. So that's exciting. So those are a couple pointers there. Another big change is this week I did cardio for the first time this entire prep on my off day. So like I said, I run every single day, usually about a mile and a half. Not really counting that towards cardio. It's just kind of my meditation time. This week was the first time I got on the Stairmaster in probably a couple years. I didn't do anything crazy. I did 10 minutes at level 10 on the Stairmaster. Very low intensity. Didn't even break a sweat, but I'm just kind of easing back into cardio. You don't want to come out the gate swinging with a whole bunch of cardio. You want to kind of leave that as a trick up your sleeve, but I'm going to slowly start titrating that in. But this week was the first week of cardio. Also, as far as the meals go, I was doing 2 meals plus the heavy cream in my coffee, 1 meal within a few hours of training, and then another meal in the evening. That just wasn't satisfying to me. I was always hungry, not crazy hungry because I'm still taking in like 2,700 calories. Let me check that real quick. I'm still taking in 2,700 calories, so I'm not so low that I'm like dying of starvation or anything, but I was not feeling satisfied. So rather than doing the 2 meals throughout the day, I switched over to an OMAD. So this week I've been playing around with 1 meal a day, which I typically have within 2 hours post-training. So wake up at 3, train at like 5 a.m., finish training at 7, and then have my 1 large meal at about 9, 10 at the latest. For me, psychologically, it's better to have 1 big meal, actually feel full and satisfied, than to have 2 smaller meals in which I'm just not quite feeling full. So that's what I did so far this week, and I felt great in doing that. I haven't felt hungry. I haven't been fixating on food as the day goes on. I've been feeling great, honestly. And what that does is it increases my fasting window, first of all. But then it also, there's so many studies out there that indicate that if you're in a fasted state, your growth hormone starts to elevate and peaks, I believe, at about 5 days fasted. I'm obviously not going to be fasting for 5 days, but the longer you're fasting, the higher that rises. So I'm basically going into my workout the next day with a higher growth hormone relative to what I would be going in at had I eaten more recently. Again, that's just very small incremental changes. I mean, this is within a 24-hour time period. Nothing like it would be if I had fasted for 5 days, but still very interesting. I mean, coming from prior bodybuilding folklore, if I don't eat every 2 hours, I'm going to be losing all my muscle, whereas now in a keto fat-adapted state, here I am fasting for 24 hours basically, and I'm able to perform PRs, hit new strength records, and feel totally fine going into a workout. So that's a plus. Next thing on the list, ketones have been higher. So since I've been doing the fasting for a longer window of time, doing the OMAD approach, I tested my ketones today before I ate, and they were at 2.3 millimolar. Again, I'm not chasing ketones. I don't really care what my ketones are because I'm not playing around with carbs. I know I'm keto adapted, even if my ketones are very low. And the longer you're in ketosis, the longer you're keto adapted, it's typical to see lower circulating beta-hydroxybutyrate blood ketones because your body's getting more efficient at shuttling those into the cells and using them. However, since I don't typically fast for 24 hours, this is kind of a new stimulus to my body, and I've been having those higher ketones. So that's pretty much all the big pointers for this week. Exciting stuff. I'm pumped about it. I'm excited to see the changes, and I feel great. Like, overall recap of everything, like, I just feel amazing. I don't feel depleted. I don't feel deprived. My strength is rock solid. I was literally hitting PRs throughout the week. I don't feel like I'm in a contest prep. I'm eating very similar foods. I'm eating pretty much the same thing every day and tweaking it a little bit on a week-to-week basis as my macros change. But I feel amazing. I feel like $1,000,000. And I could never have said that 11 weeks into a prep on any other prior bodybuilding prep protocol I've ever followed. So if there's any doubt in your mind that you can do a bodybuilding cut keto contest prep with a ketogenic diet, then let me be a shining example that not only can you do it and succeed and kick some serious butt, but you can feel great doing it, which is even better. That said, that's all I got for you today. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week.